bottom of this baffling case. What happened to Samantha Green in that small town? Let's find out. Did you know small towns, often considered safe havens, can harbor chilling secrets? Over 200,000 people go missing in the U.S. each year, and some of those disappearances happen in the most unexpected places. Peaceful, close-knit communities. Samantha Green's mysterious disappearance from the small town of Greenfield is one such case. Her fate remains a terrifying reminder that not everything in these quiet places is as it seems. What happened to Samantha? Let's dive in and find out. In the fall of 2018, Greenfield, a quaint, picturesque town nestled in the American Midwest, was rocked by an almost unimaginable disappearance. The city was known for its tree-lined streets, charming cafes, and community where neighbors knew each other by name. It was the type of place you could leave your doors unlocked without worrying about crime. But one fateful morning, 23-year-old Samantha Green vanished without a trace. Samantha had been a well-known figure in town, bright, friendly, and full of ambition. She was a college student at Greenfield University, working part-time at the local cafe, and dreamed of becoming a writer. But what started as an ordinary day quickly spiraled into an unimaginable tragedy. In this video, we will explore what happened to Samantha, the shocking truths behind her disappearance, and the dark secrets uncovered in the following investigation. Samantha was a well-known figure in town, bright, friendly, and full of ambition. She was a college student at Greenfield University, working part-time at the local cafe and dreaming of becoming a writer. But what started as an ordinary day quickly spiraled into an unimaginable tragedy. In this video, we will explore what happened to Samantha, the shocking truths behind her disappearance, and the dark secrets uncovered in the following investigation. But the pain was still unbearable for Samantha's loved ones. Her mother, father, and best friend Emily spoke out publicly, warning others about the dangers of online relationships and the importance of being cautious when communicating with strangers online. Samantha's story served as a chilling reminder of how easily trust can be exploited, even in the safest places. Samantha's disappearance was like a dark cloud descending over Greenfield. On October 12, 2018, Samantha's day started like any other. She had classes at Greenfield University and planned to meet her best friend, Emily, for lunch. The two women were inseparable, friends since childhood, and had been excited to catch up. However, Samantha didn't show up for lunch. She also didn't come in for her afternoon shift at the local cafe, where she worked part-time. Katie, Samantha's roommate, grew concerned when she noticed Samantha hadn't returned home by evening. When she called Samantha's phone, it went straight to voicemail. Katie reached out to Emily, and together, they frantically called and texted, trying to find out where Samantha was. But there were no answers. By nightfall, they knew something was wrong. They called the police, who immediately launched a search. As hours turned into days, the town was in turmoil. No one had seen or heard from Samantha, and there was no evidence of where she had gone. Her family, friends, and the local authorities were left in shock, trying to piece together the last known details of Samantha's life. But as the investigation unfolded, it became clear that things weren't as simple as they seemed. Samantha wasn't just a random victim of a sudden crime. There was something more to her disappearance, something much darker. And the small town of Greenfield, once a place of safety and familiarity, was about to reveal its ugly side. The Greenfield Police Department, led by Detective Sergeant Paul Jenkins, began investigating Samantha's disappearance. They started by retracing her last known movements. According to her phone records, Samantha's last contact was with a man named Jake, someone she had been communicating with for several months through an online dating app. Samantha had never met Jake in person, but their conversations had become more intense over time. Samantha told Emily about Jake, but never gave much detail. Emily knew little about him except that he lived out of state, and though Samantha had mentioned meeting him eventually, Emily hadn't realized how serious the relationship had become. When Detective Jenkins and his team began to dig deeper into Jake's identity, they made a shocking discovery. Jake didn't exist under that name. The police learned that Jake was Alex Mitchell, a 35-year-old with a criminal record. Alex had used multiple online aliases to deceive women into thinking they were in a relationship with him. He had a long history of catfishing, manipulating vulnerable women into emotional relationships, and then convincing them to meet him in person. Samantha was no exception. Over the months of online communication, Alex had carefully crafted a false identity, portraying himself as a successful, caring man, deeply in love with her. He promised her a future together, but behind his sweet words was a dark history of manipulation and deceit. The investigators soon discovered that Samantha had planned to meet Alex in person on the day she disappeared, but they couldn't determine where or how. She had never told anyone the details of their planned meeting, and no one knew where she was supposed to go. The more the authorities dug into Alex's past, the more they realized how dangerous he was. His criminal record was filled with allegations of stalking, online fraud, and even harassment. But they couldn't understand why Samantha, someone who had always been so careful and level-headed, had fallen for him. And why hadn't she told anyone the full extent of their relationship? The investigation hit a critical turning point when Alex Mitchell's whereabouts were finally tracked. He had been living in Greenfield for several months under a fake identity, and the police quickly identified a cabin he had rented on the outskirts of town. When they searched the cabin, they found chilling evidence. But the most horrifying discovery came when the police uncovered a shallow grave near the cabin, hidden deep in the woods. There, buried beneath the dirt, was the lifeless body of Samantha Green. The forensic team confirmed it was Samantha, and the cause of death was determined to be blunt force trauma. Alex Mitchell had killed her. But why? Was it a crime of passion? A fit of rage? Or was it something more calculated? After being taken into custody, Alex initially refused to speak, offering silence when questioned. But when the authorities confronted him with the overwhelming evidence against him, his history of scams, his fake identity, and the discovery of Samantha's body, Alex finally confessed. In his confession, Alex admitted to luring Samantha to the cabin when she disappeared. He had promised her a future together, but when she arrived, the situation took a violent turn. Alex claimed he became enraged when Samantha questioned him about his inconsistencies and lies. In a moment of uncontrollable rage, he attacked her. He kept her captive for several days before ultimately killing her and burying her body near the cabin. The town of Greenfield was forever changed by the discovery of Samantha Green's body and the revelation of the dark forces that had been lurking beneath the surface. Her friends, family, and the community were left devastated by the loss of someone so vibrant and so full of life. And the questions that remained haunted everyone. How did a small town like Greenfield harbor such a danger? And how did Samantha, so bright, so trusting, end up in the clutches of someone so deceitful and dangerous. Alex Mitchell was charged with first-degree murder, kidnapping, and a series of other crimes related to his online scams. As the investigation continued, more victims came forward, each with their own heartbreaking stories of how Alex had manipulated them. But for Samantha's loved ones, the pain was still unbearable. Her mother, father, and best friend Emily spoke out publicly, warning others about the dangers of online relationships and the importance of being cautious when communicating with strangers online. Samantha's story served as a chilling reminder of how easily trust can be exploited, even in the safest places. But the pain was still unbearable for Samantha's loved ones. Her mother, father, and best friend Emily spoke out publicly, warning others about the dangers of online relationships and the importance of being cautious when communicating with strangers, online. Samantha's story served as a chilling reminder of how easily trust can be exploited, even in the safest places. What do you think about the chilling twists in Samantha's story? How could a small town like Greenfield harbor such a dangerous predator? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever experienced something similar? Let us know. And if you found this story shocking, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into true crime mysteries from small towns.